Hi, and welcome back to HVAC Talk, Let's Be Real. My name's Renee. I'm one of the owners of LCS.
I'm Mark, and I'm the service manager here at LCS.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, filters. So we know as homeowners that we need to change our filter, and it depends if you have, a filter that's about 1 inch thick or a filter that's 4 or 5 inches thick on whether you change it every month, every couple of weeks, every 3 months, every 6 months.
Right.
We're not usually going to go a year. We don't want
No,
to.
you don't want to.
On a filter. But we're going to talk to you about some extra things that we've seen lately and how the filter impacts whether your system is keeping you comfortable in your home. Mark, go ahead.
Well, the best thing that you can do for your home is to know exactly when your filter needs to be changed and not rely on the manufacturer's information, what they tell you on the label.
Okay.
Because filters they'll have a 3-month filter, you'll have a 1-month filter, you'll have a 6-month filter. Manufacturers want to sell filters, but that one way that they do it is by telling you that it'll last longer. So they can charge you more for that filter. If you buy a filter that says it'll last 3 months, and you have a newer system that is like modulating or whatever, you're going to have a longer runtime with that system. You don't want to look at the calendar and say, it's time to change my filter. You want to look at your filter and say, it's time to change my filter.
Okay, so Mark, we could always put like a calendar reminder in our calendars, right?
Correct.
And so if I put a reminder in, hey, I'm going to check my filter once a month. That doesn't mean that it's going to need to be changed once a month, but we at least want to get our eyes on it, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what do you have here?
Well, I've got this filter here that was due to be changed on January the 27th.
Which is not even here yet.
It's not here yet.
Okay.
This is due to be changed on January 27th. On October 27th, because this guy was told that this is a 3-month filter, it looked like this. Okay. However, we've had so many high or low temperature days, and
right.
This guy's out in the country and the wind's beating against his house. He has a heat pump system, so it's running a lot longer. This is a perfect example of taking runtime versus what the manufacturer says it'll last.
Okay, so keep in mind too that when we look at something, like it's obvious that this is dirty and needs changed, right? Because of the color of it, and you can see the dirt piled up in there. Now, keep in mind too that if you pull out your filter and it's a little dirty, sometimes we'll get to where like, well, I don't want to waste a filter, or I don't want to waste if I've got a little more life left in it. Well, the problem is if it's 50 degrees outside, that filter that's a little dirty, your system will do just fine with it, most likely.
And that's due to runtime. It doesn't need to run as much.
Exactly. Okay, but now we get to where it's 10 degrees outside, and your system is running longer.
A lot longer, and it's about the amount of air that goes through that filter. When it's running, it's pulling air through the filter. So
when it's 10 degrees outside, that same filter that was just a little dirty may cause your system to fall behind in temperature a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have your thermostat set at 70 degrees and it's only 66 in there, right?
Right.
Okay, so we have run so many calls in the past month or so, and it turns out the whole issue is a dirty filter. And so to save yourself from having to pay a service call, from the inconvenience of having to be home and wait on us to come out and all of that good stuff, check your filter and get it changed. Even if it looks a little dirty, when it's as cold as it is right now and it's predicted to be over the next couple of days, get your filter changed. Now, Mark, you had mentioned something about modulating furnaces and things like that. Those motors, I've heard you guys talk about, they're more sensitive than old motors, right? There's more technology.
Right. They tend to put out a lower temperature, but they put it out for a longer amount of time. So that way, the longer amount of time is pulling more air through that filter. And if you had a standard 100% on, 100% off, or a 2-stage that's 50% and then 100% on and then off, modulating furnaces ramp up 1% at a time.
Okay.
So in order to keep that house as comfortable as possible and have that set point, it will run for an hour to make up a degree or two, rather than running for 10 or 15 minutes.
And shutting off, turning on,
shutting off, turning on, beating your motor up, doing all that. But it's going to be pulling air through that filter the whole time. Okay. So if you have a newer system, check your filter every month until you learn when it needs to be changed. And that is season specific as well, because your air conditioner may not run as much. You may have trees where you don't need air conditioning, but you may have trees where it holds the heat or the cold around your house too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
or then in the summer, no trees.
No trees.
So your AC is running all the time.
AC's running all the time, but that's gonna be like wind beating on your house, so you're gonna have a long run time in the winter too.
Okay.
Even with furnaces.
Now, talk for real quick about those little vapor things that people set on their counters.
The little ultrasonic humidifiers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're touted as being the next best thing since sliced bread. That's not true.
Why not? From our industry
From our
perspective,
standpoint,
yes.
yes. Because all that does is shoot water into the air.
What's in water?
Calcium. Lime. And other stuff. But when it shoots that water in, it's shooting all that calcium and lime into the air as well. That calcium and lime gets stuck in furnace filters, and I would say out of all the filter calls that we've had, we've probably had 50 or 60% of those be because of those humidifiers.
Those little vapor things. So keep in mind too that stuff is not the color of that dirt and stuff. So it's white, and so it can look like your filter is clean, but it's not. Like, that's all caked on here because it's the calcium and everything is the same really color as the filter.
Yeah, if you flip it and you see dust come off of it, whoop, that's your calcium.
Who wants this filter? Yeah.
And this is still good. It's still good. I just knocked some crap out of it.
So keep that in mind, that we really don't recommend having those in homes, to be honest with you, just because that does clog up filters really fast. If you do have one in your home and you do really like it and you don't want to part with it, then you need to check and change your filter more often than what you even would have anyway. And
it may be a pain, but you have to put distilled water in there. If you use distilled water like the directions say on those, it doesn't have the lime and the calcium. Mm-hmm. Yes, you got to buy 6 gallons of water per day. Yeah. 8 gallons of water per day.
Yes.
But there is an option on most instances where you can have a whole home humidifier installed on your system that'll catch all that stuff. You don't need to put water in it. You don't need to turn it on and turn it off or unplug it or place it where your humidity's low. It'll take care of the whole house. Right.
Something else to keep in mind, it's always a good idea to have filters at your home, right? So instead of buying just one filter at a time when you think you need it, get a year's supply. So that may be 12 1-inch filters or 6 1-inch filters or a couple of the big thick media filters.
Right.
Have those in your home so that way when you do check your filter and see that it needs changed, you don't have to make a trip right now to go to the home improvement store. So we actually have a new filter store on our website, lcsheatingandcooling.com, and you can buy filters. You can buy one at a time. We don't recommend it. We recommend buying a case at a time, and so that way they're there at your home. And then also when you have your furnace or your air conditioner maintenance done, we'll change it for you. Yeah. And so that's 2 times a year that you're getting your filter changed for you because you already have your filters there. So, okay, well, stay warm. I hope that your system is keeping up. If it's not, check your filter.
Check your filter.
Then give us a call if it's not.
There
all right. Well, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time on HVAC Talk. Let's be real.